So in this run-up period to Germany's elections, the Swedish activist Greta Thunberg and the movement that she initiated, the Fridays for Future protest movement, have gathered for a so-called climate strike in Berlin. As many as 20,000 people are expected to take part in the course of the coming hours. The demonstration is also expected to be copied in more than 1,400 cities right around the world. And we can just, I think, bring you some live pictures from Berlin right now. Protesters are gathering. I haven't actually seen Greta Thunberg in the last few minutes, but we know she is in Berlin. We can drop in, I think, in pictures from Munich as well, where clearly hundreds of mostly young people have gathered to join the Fridays for Future protests. And actually, it is, as I said, not just a German phenomenon today. The UK is also part of the climate strike movement. So let's go live to Parliament Square in central London and join James Reynolds, who's watching events there. James, I can just see a few people around you. What's happening where you are right now?
Things haven't really started here, Stephen, at the moment. I'd say there are, a few dozen or so protesters here, intermingling very peacefully with police officers and with journalists. There will be at least half a dozen speakers a little later on, and I'm joined actually by one of them now, one of the co-organisers of this event, Scarlett Westbrook. You're 17 years old. Why are you here?
I'm here because we're not taking the decisive climate action that we need and the urgent climate action we need. So we're here in Parliament Square, right in front of Parliament, calling on politicians to act and implement decarbonisation policies in line with the IPCC report.
What in particular is the one measure that you all want to see?
We'd like the government to implement a Green New Deal or a Green Industrial Revolution. We've seen Boris Johnson announce a Green Industrial Revolution this year, but it doesn't have the urgency that we need when it comes to decarbonising. We need to reach net zero by 2030 in line with the IPCC report and ensure that that is a just transition for everybody.
Scarlett, how are you living your own life in a way that is consistent with green policies?
Well, 100 companies are responsible for 71% of carbon emissions. So, of course, whilst individual change can be important, it's not the main problem here. Personally, I've gone vegetarian. I use public transport when I can or walk, but I've got a broken leg right now, so that's not a great option for me. And all of these sorts of personal individual changes, but what we really need is systemic action.
We see here this very, very peaceful protest today, but a lot of our viewers, when they think of environmental protests in recent days, will also think of Extinction Rebellion and the Insulate Britain activists who've been blocking motorways, and Extinction Rebellion often do direct action as well. What do you as environmentalists make of those other environmentalists' protests?
So, of course, we're not affiliated to Extinction Rebellion in any way. We're part of the Fridays for Future movement, which the face-off is Greta Thunberg. We've always been peaceful and we've always, been quite peaceful and logical about what we're doing. I guess it's not up to me to comment on other people's choices and how they protest, but for us personally, peaceful protests like this is the way forward.
Scarlett Westbrook, thank you so much. Well, people will continue to gather here over the next few hours or so, and of course they want to put pressure on governments in the run-up to the COP26 summit. Stephen.
James, thank you very much indeed. James Reynolds in Westminster there.